Hello, this is Anna Stevens with the Power Path School of Shamanism, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to make an altar. But first I just wanted to explain what an altar is. So there are lots of different kinds of altars. Altars can either be really tiny and simple, or they can be really complicated and huge, like as big as a whole room, as big as a whole space. But an altar is basically a designated center of the universe. So when you make an altar, regardless of what it is, you're designating this spot as being the center of the universe. It's a place of power, and therefore it creates a portal to spirit. So anything that you put on an altar becomes empowered, and altars are a great place to make offerings or do your prayers or things like that. So I'm going to show you today how to make a very simple altar in your house. So when choosing a place for an altar in your home, you want a place that is going to be protected and a nice clear surface that doesn't get cluttered up with other things. So, on top of a counter that doesn't get used, or on top of a side table, those are places that can work. And it's also got to be a place that you have access to, that you can get to. So the way you want to start is always with an altar cloth. When you find an altar cloth and you put an altar cloth down, it delineates the space. And anything can be an altar cloth. It can be as simple as a bandana, or it can be, something like this Shipibo cloth here that actually has meaning and has energy to it. Then you can place all different kinds of objects. What's the most important thing is that these objects are meaningful to you, that they have some meaning. So it's nice to place some objects that are already powerful, like crystals that have their own energy and they're empowering the space. I always have a candle to represent the sun and the element of fire. You can place objects that are symbols of your allies. For example, there's a frog here. You can place things that represent prosperity, and altars can be for different things. So you might have an altar that's specifically for prosperity. You might have an altar that's for the health of your house, and you can place pictures on it of your different kids or relatives or friends, to be supported. Little objects that, again, are meaningful to you. And I always like to place fresh flowers on my altars because they bring in blessings. You can also place objects that might be shamanic tools that you use, like a rattle. And an altar would also be a really wonderful place to keep a smudge stick or some sage or incense that you burn on a regular basis. So this is a very, very simple little altar here, just with a few objects. And this is a place that I can now come and pray and bless and, do my shamanic practice here.